Cannabis can be decriminalized in two different ways in India. Either the politicians take a stand for this and make a policy change, which might usually take about a year or 2 years, depending on the urgency of the issue. If someone can question the fundamental rights that is violated by the prohibition of this cannabis plant, either in the High Court or the Supreme Court, which might take anywhere between 2 years or 3 years at length. So legalization to India might come either in 2020 or 2022. The government is making a lot of profit by not legalizing cannabis. But definitely a lot of existing industries that has been set up over the last 100 years or so, be it the energy industries or the fuel industries, pharmaceutical industries, cement industries, lumber industries, steel industries, textile industries, food industries, all of these things are definitely pumping a lot of money through their taxes and other things. But by legalizing cannabis, we will be adding a new $1 trillion market, which is more sustainable, biodegradable, and the money is going to flow into the agricultural sector at large. And if this can be brought in a way where a certain amount of tax can be achieved, then it's going to help the Indian economy in a big way. That is the correct way to go about it. Decriminalization first, which means no one will be arrested further for either growing the plant or using the plant or trading the plant in any way. Legalization itself would come in a way where this plant is complete. I think legalization and decriminalization is almost the same thing, but regulation is something that can come in a little later. I think once the government sees enough money within this industry, then they will take a huge policy change and see how the country can benefit from it, and a regulation model will be placed henceforth. Activists across the country plays a huge role when it comes to succeeding in this legalization mission. It's not just about legalizing cannabis for personal consumption. Some call it recreational. There is almost nothing recreational about cannabis. It's fun for some people, it's a de-stressor for many people, and for many others it's a spiritual growth. But the legalization idea stretches far beyond just the personal consumption. It's about creating a new healthcare system, and also it's about creating bio-industries across the nation, which is going to create environmentally friendly products, and also making sure that the farmers' well-being is taken care of. And so activists play a huge role. I think just to educate the society before doing that, understand everything and do a lot of research. And once you believe in this cause, I think no one will be able to stop the movement any further. Cannabis is you cannot grow it, you cannot cultivate it, you cannot use it, you cannot trade it, you cannot transport it. If you're caught doing any of these things, you can be jailed anywhere from 6 months up to 10 years, depending on the quantity that in which you're caught with. And is bhang cultivation legal? No, it's not. But in places like Rajasthan or UP or Himachal Pradesh, it just grows wild, and people use it. If you go to Varanasi, for that matter, bhang is given in the temples. That's something that I'm still not able to understand. But on the other hand, there are millions and millions of patients who need it, but they don't have access to it. A high quality medical grade cannabis is still unavailable in this country through a legal route. But it grows wild, and many of them cultivate it, many farmers cultivate it, and many people still continue to use it. You cannot stop this plant. You cannot stop this culture that is inbred into our society for thousands of years. Can someone please tell me what is so recreational about cannabis? Yes, it increases your awareness, it increases your perception of reality. Sometimes it enhances your audio visuals, and sometimes it makes life better. But what is so recreational about cannabis? There is nothing recreational about cannabis. It's not like a roller coaster ride, or I don't know, just what is recreation? Nothing recreational about cannabis, smoking, or edibles, or oil in any way, believe me. It increases your awareness and it increases your perception. And if you want to try microdosing, when it comes to smoking, you can start with just smoking one drag at a time, and that's the maximum. Um, that's the least that you can smoke anyway, and you can see what you'll be able to get out of it. Of course, if you want to do one drag microdose, you should have finished the whole phase with cannabis, and only after that, when you really need just a little bit to get the whole feel. But otherwise, microdosing also is, in a way, the dosage, the number of times that you dose yourself. Just once in the night is what I believe is a very good, perfect microdosing method. After all your work, after all your day work, everything is done. When it's just time for your own personal space, then that is when you just take one or two hits and just relax and enjoy. Illegal marijuana, no, illegal ganja or bhang or charas or hashish or cannabis. Marijuana is a very bad term for the use of this plant. It was a American propaganda. Anyway, illegal cannabis can be found across the country. So why legal is because it's you're not getting the best quality, and why have this stress of being arrested or getting into trouble for using a plant, and that too for yourself. You're not harming anyone, you're not harming anyone else, you're not harming yourself as well by the consumption of cannabis. But what this law has done is created this huge fear when it comes to someone feeling free to explore their consciousness, or heal themselves, or even grow the plant for whatever the use might be, for fibers or for food. In places like Himachal, then it creates a huge stress against the whole society. But by legalizing a very high quality medicine, high quality flowers for personal consumption, high quality food, high quality fibers, everything can be made available to the society for whatever the use. Like US, India cannot do a state-wise legalization because the plant has been prohibited on a central level. NDPS is a central act and not a state act. The states, of course, have the authority to give out licenses for medical research and horticultural research. If you're an activist, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're an industrialist who wants to get into it, then you need to force your state government to act upon this authority that they have been given by the central government. But for just growing the plant, or setting up an industry, I think the central law has to be questioned, and the plant needs to be free on the central level where the entire country can actually benefit. But research wise, it can be rolled out in every single state, one state after the other. For example, Uttarakhand has already done it, UP has already done it, now maybe Himachal next, and Karnataka after that. Possibilities of curing cancer from cannabis is really, really, really high, but a lot of factors come into the play. You need to the patient should not really interfere a lot of harmful chemical treatments like chemotherapy or radiation, or even go the invasive route where surgeries are done. And if you're not doing any of those things, then you have a really good chance of curing yourself from any kind of cancer, provided you have a high quality indica oil, which is a full extract, and not just the CBD. CBD is not going to do anything for cancer. It's the full extract, Rick Simpson oil, maybe about 80% THC and about 20% CBD is a good ratio to begin with. And all the cancers can be cured, and I've witnessed almost all the cancers getting reversed. Any kind of cancer getting reversed only by the use of cannabis oil. How to sustain, maintain, and retain that healing, and so that the tumor doesn't grow back, is another journey where you'll have to change your entire lifestyle for that. So, but it can be cured, it can be reversed, it can be stopped. The cancer cells can be stopped from growing in the first place, and cannabis is a fantastic tool to fight against cancer.